Good evening, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello, sir. Hello. My name is Brila.
Okay, welcome.
Hello?
Yeah, go on. Okay, not ready for us right there. I guess you're busy doing something else because it is really noisy where you're reaching us from, and we can't hear you clearly. Okay? Yes, we can hear you clearly. And this competition doesn't have anybody on 4 goals here, does it?
No.
I think 3 goals. 3 goals.
Yeah.
A few of the guys are on 3, and that, of course, is where we are at the moment as far as the Qatar World Cup is concerned. It's had everything, this particular World Cup. Yes, it's had everything. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. My name is Kola.
Okay, Kola.
Yeah. I think I forgot the name now. This guy play at the middle of Argentina. This guy, you used to talk about him playing at Atletico Madrid.
Papu Gomez.
No, Rodrigo
No,
De Paul.
Rodrigo guy. That guy is too poor. 3 games now, he has not performed at all. I think he's the one done in this Argentina side. So I just hope they can win this game, champ.
Okay. All right, thank you so much. A lot of people have talked about the guy's quality from what we saw at the Copa America to what we are seeing now. Just between that period of time, just about a year, a little above a year. You will not be out of place if you say he's been very poor.
Yeah.
You will not be out of place to say he's been poor.
I think he's been sort of poor because
the influence of the coach he plays on that club level.
I was going to mention that, but then if you sabi, you really sabi, and I don't think any coach should influence, your qualities. I mean, it's just like saying
It can affect.
It can affect when you are not playing on the front foot that you've known how to, the system you've grew up with over time. Yes, but I don't expect it to be this bad. I just don't expect it to be this bad.
Well, that's because he was pretty much a very creative guy. These days, it looks like he does more of the defensive job, and when you are bad at it, it will show. It's not an area of strength for you, and it is likely to show. I mean, a typical example is also, what's this guy's name? These days, I'm not even sure if he's as confident as he used to be. The Portuguese guy who plays for Atleti as well. João Felix. And a lot of people have had different things to say about that, but this is not an avenue where I want to tell Simeone how to play his game. As long as it is working for him and the Atleti guys are impressed.
It's not even working for him at this point in time.
Well,
because at some point it looks like Simeone is one untouchable manager in at Atletico Madrid. However, the fans have started to complain.
It is the Atleti guys who do not see a future outside Simeone. They don't think it is possible. Credit to him. He's won 2 League Cups. He's reached about 2 Champions League finals back to back, and he's won I think the Europa League like twice. He's also won I think he's won 1 Copa del Rey, did he? But you look at all of these things and you say, okay, who's that guy they're actually going to get now that can put them at that level of competition? But that is also them limiting themselves, because if they're asking that question, they have said to themselves, we cannot get another person that can improve us beyond this level, and therefore let's be stuck with this guy. I think he's one of the longest serving coaches in Europe now. Who has been at one club for over a decade, and it is what it is. And you know what they say about the dinosaurs. Let's get more calls. 090400889 090401889. Yes, as the action continues right here. Yes, we're taking a look at Argentina and what this particular game could mean for their hopes. Now, anybody who loses any game at this stage of the competition is bye-bye. Group phase don't finish where you could say, okay, I played this one. Let's hope I do well in the next game. Let's hope the other guys don't do well, and all that. You even saw Uruguay that won yesterday, and it didn't depend on them because, of course, another team were winning, and they had to win against Ghana and go home with the win as well. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Welcome.
Welcome, sir. What is that? Sir?
It is still goalless.
Okay, sir. I wish them the best. I'll be happy if Argentina will win this match.
Okay.
I wish them that I win the cup because of my Messi.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for this for your contribution this evening. As far as this one is concerned, we've seen a situation where there's been Joseph. It looks like we've seen the first booking of this game, and it goes the way of the Australian side. Have they been physical?
They've not been physical. They've not even had 5 minutes on the ball. So the yellow card went to Irvine. He appeared to have tripped Acuna in a way that definitely would hurt him. And of course, the yellow card has been brandished exactly on the 14th minutes of the encounter. So it just tells you a story of how it is. And maybe they are patient, but they are not even. They just want to catch as possible. You could see the tackles. Yes, I would say they were physical. But then if you are not getting enough of the ball, despite being, that physical, it can only hurt you because you would always get yellow cards. You always get booked for it. And of course, Australia just want to hit as much as possible on the counter. But the Argentinians, yes, technocrats, and how do I put it? People with sabi plenty for this Argentinian side. They can't even give a ball away for 2 seconds. The ball don't come back to them. So it has been an Argentinian party all the way, and it would be so for for the next couple of minutes, because once you start stringing in about 20-25 passes, it can only lead to a goal. And Australia are just trying to hold the shape together and see if they can hurt Argentina on the counter attack. But then it's going to be a long night for the Australians.
Well, it might be a long night, but the way they are set up, they know they can't get the possession, and they're therefore all men behind the ball. Yes, that's how they are set up. And you find that the guys will do their best to chase the ball as quickly as they can. The Argentines might be looking for situations where they can walk in tight spaces. And I get an 889-090-41,889. Yes, it is goalless. Hello. Okay, still a goalless affair. Argentina nil, Australia nil, as the action continues. And yes, the two sides are pretty much giving it a go in this encounter. Well, Australia will also be looking at if they win counterattacks in their own half. If they win counterattacks in their own half, it might be difficult for them to progress all the way because they drop too deep for them to win counters in those areas and then be able to run all the way to the net and make things happen for themselves. But yes, let's not rule anything out. We'll see how much of tenacity they are putting into it and how well they are willing to have those long busting runs and go all the way into those situations. But really, if they concede first, I think they are going to come out. And because the Argentines, they have technicians who can use the ball better, then Argentina might punish them.
I think if they're going to get anything on the counter-attack, it has to be long balls, and that means they have to be well-positioned in the opposition half because you've been sitting deep. It means you have to get in, take a pass that would beat 2-3 men. And if you are looking at an Argentina that is well set up, even with 3 at the back, you are facing 3-on-3 situations. You can't say you can get past them that easily. They need to resort to long balls that can fish out, maybe distract 1 or 2 people, and then you can qualities are down. Is someone that I really like. And yes, for his stature, he's got a low center of gravity. Like Messi, he can, find tight, create space, even in tight spaces. And of course, in the opening 1 minute, in the opening minute of the game, he somehow found space, and that was because the handball situation. So it's someone like, yes, I wouldn't say he's an out-and-out winger, but then placing him side by side with Angel Di Maria, who I think is more versatile. He can play, as an inverted winger. He can also play, kiss the byline. I think it's a bit more limited. Especially in this match where you need to beat low blocks. It can actually string passes together and even connect with headers, which I find a little bit strange. So I think in the box it can be a threat.
Comes the problem, and then they end up going all the way back home But in the last 5 minutes or thereabouts, they have come out themselves compared to maybe they are coming out now because they have possession of the ball. The moment they don't have it, they start going back in their numbers.
And that is, of course, I don't think they should be doing something different. That's the only thing I think they should be doing right now. Yes, if you have the ball, you can try and keep possession, try and pass the ball. And their goalkeeper is even coming out of his own arc, trying to, join in terms of ball playing, of course, join the attack in this one. But doing a very, very good job, trying to contain them. And it's quite, if you're having fruitless passes like this, and you can just swing passes and not even,
But they are committing men forward. That could be the advantage.
They are, and that is the reason why the Argentine midfielders are actually still dropping back to help the defenders. So it's like it's an attack. So this game looks like one that would probably see goals because the Australians are looking lively right now. They already have a corner kick to themselves, and of course it's just to be seen how they prosecute this one. But of course, I like the fact that they have this attacking intent in them, and I also like the fact that their goalkeeper can also really see an all-round defensive game versus an attacking team right here in this particular game, VQ.
Okay, let's see how it should look as far as this one is concerned. The Australians have been able to take the game to Argentina and pushing it all the way. Yes, but they have forced them all the way back and prevented them from also building out of the back. Sometimes if you can put this amount of pressure to the press, this is the advantage it gives you, because the pressure, of course, will not allow the opponent to build and be comfortable on the ball while trying to build out of the back. We've seen Otamendi struggle like 2 to 3 times already as far as that one is concerned. But yes, it is the first 25 minutes of this game. First 25 minutes of this game. Pius, what are the stats saying as far as this one is concerned?
Yes, of course, not too much to talk about in terms of statistics. But of course, would give you what we have already. After 25 minutes of play, ball possession have gone the way of the Argentines because they have 67% of the ball as against 33% to the Australians. Yes, of course, in terms of goal attempt, just one goal attempt in 25 minutes, and that have gone the way of the Argentines. And of course, no goal attempt for the Australians. Shot on goal, no shot on goal for Argentine, and of course, no shot on goal for the Australians in this particular encounter. Shot off goal, one, of course, in 25 minutes, make that 26, and that has gone the way of the Argentines in this particular encounter. No shot off goal for the Australians. Block shot, none for both sides in this particular encounter. Free kicks, we've had 6 free kicks in total. Yes, 4 have gone the way of the Argentines, 2 have gone the way of the Australians in this particular game. Just one corner kick in 26 minutes of play, and that has gone the way of the Australians. Yes, of course, in this particular encounter. 1 offside call, and that has gone the way of the Argentines, and no offside for the Australians in this particular encounter. Throw-ins, 4 for Argentina, 5 for Australia. Goalkeeper saves, none. Both goalkeepers have been quite on holiday. They've been, enjoying themselves. The goalkeeper of the Australians have just he's been busy doing the passes here and there to his players. Of course, fouls, 1 have gone the way of the Argentines, and 4 have gone the way of the Australians. 1 yellow card in this particular game after 26 minutes of play, and that has gone the way of the Australians in this particular encounter. 253 total passes for Argentina, and of course they've been able to complete 235 of those, while for the Australians, yes, 135 total passes, and they've been able to complete 120 of those. 1 tackle each for both sides, and of course for 2 attacks for Argentina, 5 of those have been dangerous, while for the Australians 19 attacks, and of course 6 of those have been very dangerous. This game looks quite even, and of course after 27 minutes of play, it's still goalless right there, the game between Argentina and Australia.
And a sustained period of possession and using the ball and also trying to destabilize the opponents in the last 5 or 6 minutes by the Australian side tells a whole lot about how their confidence is probably growing into this game, Joseph.
Yeah, they sustained. They were able to sustain the pressure. They exposed especially the wing backs of the Australia. The Argentinians. It feels like they can actually hurt Argentina. It's not like the confidence has been low. It's not as if the confidence has been low. But then, if you are getting all of those opportunities and you cannot, do anything with them, I think it's really not speaking much of you. However, I like to see can be just a notch higher in the way they attack. They can really, because I've been looking at the body language of Romero. He looks rattled. So it means let us just sustain this level of pressure against this defensive backline. And why not? Why can't we get a goal and maybe try to survive on the counter like we've always done?
Okay, let's see if surviving on the counter like they've done in the early moments of this game would offer them any chance at all, and see how things will go if the Argentines can possibly keep them at bay, and what the outcome of the first 45 will be. Yes, of course, we have seen about half an hour, 29 minutes of the action already. It is Argentina 0, Australia 0. And the Australians can begin to believe now they really can come up with something and, cause a bit of a problem for their opponent tonight in this fixture and see what happens. But yes, the Argentines not holding on to possession well enough to create something and cause problems for the guys they are up against. The opponents want to keep the ball and they are confident on the ball and they can build and walk the pitch. So yes, that of course is already a lot of problems for Australia. But one thing they must also get right is not to at any point in time isolate Lionel Messi and hope that if he finds his range in those danger zones in the final third, that you wouldn't expect him to at least pull off something. If not a goal, possibly an assist or, rattle the post or something. And, that could put the whole guys under pressure. But I think one thing they must not fail to do for themselves tonight is to make sure at any point in time that Messi is free. If he's going to be free, let him work it out himself. But if they leave him free, we saw that against Mexico. He had a chance. It was one time and one time only. He took that shot and then he found the back of the net. And who knows, maybe the Argentines are also baiting them and hoping that something can happen as far as this one is concerned.
I think it has to do with the concentration level of those people who should be watching Messi, because we saw how they were able to manage the situation and limit his ability or even his influence in that game, and he didn't exactly get the right. Not like he didn't get it, not like the quality passes were not there. Yes, it's Messi. He would always get all of those things, but he struggled to influence those games until that clutch moment when they slept. So it's I don't know the record of this Australians.
That's because it is Messi.
Yes.
It's possible for them to have slept on someone else and it
doesn't
still not
hurt
lead to
them.
a goal.
So they would not. I know for sure they don't want to get their minds off him 1 minute, one bit. If you are going to have one job, which is to keep Messi at bay, however you are going to do it, just do it and don't let your teammates down. But he's Messi. It depends on how the situation looks like. If you are going to judge you and say, yes, did you do your side? Or not many people can say they can go toe-to-toe with Messi and try to, keep him at bay. But then you just don't want to keep your eyes off him for 1 minute, for 1 second. Because in a split second, it could hurt you. That's just who he is.
It's going to be a long 90 minutes for Baccus and Mooy. Yes, Aaron Mooy and the guys, because they are really covering a lot of ground and making sure that they track the Argentines and get in their faces. It looks a bit. I'm not saying that's what it does, because of course on the technical level the two games are not the same. But you know how Liverpool used the press against Barcelona to destabilize their play and everything else they were doing. These guys pay attention to it. They are just running more and wanting to reduce the amount of control that the Argentines will have on them and on the game in general, and do the best that they can to make sure they get something quickly. But a lot will depend on how the guys can also switch. Sometimes you find that the Australians, they overburden one part of the pitch.
Yes.
If it comes to a situation where Argentina can read the intention quickly and make a switch, they will be cut out, and it might lead to something worse than what the scoreline is showing right now.
But how easy do you think that can be when you have an Angel Di Maria who has always been tasked with that responsibility of switching defense to attack in 1 split second? I don't think Papu Gomez is really someone you can depend on to give you those fast breaks. But then, how do you think Argentina can live on that, expected or forecasting what these people want to do next and then hitting them on the break?
I think it's a problem of not particularly playing as a winger, but filling in the role and keeping the ball, because that is what you are expected to do. You may not be the man to make all the runs, but at least advance with the ball and get in the danger zone, and then wait for situations where there might be cutbacks or a good cross in or a good pass that could lead to something. In those situations, it will be hard for you to say that a midfielder should do the job of a winger. But sometimes we have seen in football that all you need to necessarily do is to just feel in, run into that place and be comfortable enough to make a good pass. And if that becomes the case, who knows? It might give you guys some sort of advantage. But yes, of course, the action continues. 34 minutes, going on 35. It is Argentina 0, Australia 0. And the Australians have got to watch it now. Joseph, come with the match reports as far as this game is concerned.
Yes.
Just danger zones. But just be careful before you put in such a tackle that will be in the penalty box, and then the narrative will continue, and it will be a case of, oh, Australia didn't know what to do. Given the experience of a side like Argentina, they will employ every dark arts in the book to ensure that they put these guys under pressure and watch if their inexperience will cost them as far as this game is concerned.
Well, a notable one happened in the 34th minute of the encounter when as is Behich, yes, of Australia, violated. Whoa! We have an update. We have an update. And of course, that man,
Update.
It just has to be him. It just has to be him. Lionel Messi once more.
The Lion of Messi.
Yeah? The Lion of Messi.
The Lion of Messi.
Okay, Argentina are in front, and it is Lionel Messi. Woo! Yes, took a free kick. It was going into the net. Matt Ryan punched it clear, but they were able to gather it. Messi was the man the ball got to again. Supplied it to Papu Gomez, and then there was a quick, he ran into the box, got the pass, and yes, he took it first time to find the back of the net, sending the goalkeeper, stretching the goalkeeper actually, not sending him the wrong way. But yes, Messi once again has put Argentina in front. In the 35th minute, good pass, and it was well waged by the man who was in the box, but Messi was, and was it Otamendi who got there? But Messi, of course, has scored, and that's the news right now. That's the big story. That's the most important thing. The a sea of blue and white shirts, of course, are celebrating right there, as it is a packed stadium full of 90% Argentina fans, actually. Yes, the report says 90% of Argentina fans. And yes, they are right there making it happen for themselves. They lead 1-0. Might this change the complexion of the game right now, Pius?
Yeah, of course, this will definitely change the completion of the game. And Messi, you don't necessarily need to see him for 90 minutes. I mean, I can just stand here and wax lyrical about the man. I mean, I could take probably a whole day, 24 hours, and talk about the man, Lionel Messi. Like you guys were talking about earlier, he just needs that 5-10 seconds for him to change the completion of the game. And that's just what he has done right now. I mean, before the goal came in, the Australians were trying to attack the Argentines, of course, trying to show that they can pass the ball and, of course, get into the Argentine half and, of course, see if they can get into the Argentine 18 and see if they can cause them problems.
We spoke about that before that moment where we said, don't sleep on him.
Yes.
But they were also defending their goal. So it was a case of he was not in the box. He ran into the box to create the danger himself. It wasn't because the guy slept on him. There's no way you're defending your box and all you'll be thinking at the same time is to make sure you plant a man on Messi and not let him get into the box.
But I felt like they didn't close him down early enough because he had almost like 5-10 seconds. He had to dress the ball, and in fact he had to pick his position.
5 seconds?
He had to pick his position.
From the way he ran, it was from the wing because he took a free kick, and then
the ball came back to him, not that clear. And then he passed to the other man and ran in almost immediately.
And Otamendi gave him back immediately. And of course, he had a few seconds to, choose his position. And of course, I just felt like they didn't close him down early enough, and that was why he was quite precise about where he was going to play the ball. But this is Messi, and this is only what Messi can do.
I don't think I would fault the defenders. They did their job. I mean, they wanted to protect the goal, and of course, you don't be robots now. You know where ball they pass. In some moments.
You can't be everywhere. Can't be everywhere. That's Lionel Messi. You got to be careful.
Because he could decide to go, near post. He could decide to go far post. So I think there are some situations you just can't help. Yes, you put your body on the line, and they rightly did so. But then it's just a Messi. You don't know. It's always a threat in the box. As soon as you get him inside that box, you should know that you have fluffed a line of even allowing him in the first place.
Okay, and 38 minutes, of course, before then, let's let you know that Australia picked up their second yellow card. Degenek was the man, and this time around, Degenek has been involved in an action with Acuna, and looks like he didn't land too well, landed poorly, but he's back on his feet now, and the game continues. But yes, 2 yellow cards already for Australia. They've got to be careful.
I wonder what the deal is with Acuna, because it's more like being a target. Someone got a yellow card off him in the first yellow card in the game. Someone got off him. It
Ivan?
was Ivan, yes.
Yeah.
And now Degenek has gotten another one off him. And the tackles have not really been nice. So I really don't know what
Acuna is the guy who was the left back, but he plays as a full back. So the moment they advance, he's the man who is expected to run the channels and go get those crosses. And probably if you are watching the Argentina side, you'll be thinking, okay, one of the ways to limit it is to do like this, to do like this. And unfortunately for a side like this, what they lack in quality to also push him back is what they are trying to compensate for with grit. And it appears to be the problem why they picked 2 yellow cards already. I don't think it is good enough for them, but they've got to be careful.
Yes, it was exactly the same situation that got them the free kick that led to that goal in the first instance. Because you all want to go physical, and then one of them was trying to get into the head of Messi, and he got physical. And just a few seconds before that free kick was played, they had a little bit of scuffle, trying to lock each other.
You want to get in the head of a guy who has played 1,000 games.
I think tonight is his 1,000th international game. So
1,000 games. Which kind of night Bat never see?
I don't know.
So I think the best thing they could do for themselves is to get their heads into this game and put maximum concentration. Because when you think about all of these things, the part of was it Fabinho was dropped on him against Liverpool, Jason Park for most part of the game, even though he later did the dirty thing when Jason Park was removed from that match against Manchester United. A couple of names.
But you think other matches he's played, coaches have not put men on him.
Exactly.
They would have done that.
The thing is, look, you can't use the same tactical formation you used before you started the match.
I still remember the entire time how many times like 2-3 Liverpool players were on him, sometimes 4 or 5. So it wasn't just a Fabinho doing it; it was the whole pack.
Doing
the whole guys making sure that
don't allow those passes
they can do it. But yes, at some point, of course, tonight on the show we'll be joining. Yes, we'll have the chairman, CEO, Brila Media Aim, and how, of course, Argentina, how they have played so far and how things are looking for the side. Yes, pretty quickly, we would be joining Kochi this evening. All right, Sports Radio Brila FM, and yes, let's join the chairman, CEO Brila Media. Yes, 43 minutes of action. Kochi, good evening. Argentina lead 1-0, 43 minutes.
In the race, because things have happened in this World Cup. The first goal he scored the other time. When he kicked the ball, he was not too sure it was going to be a goal. And when the ball when it moved straight into the net, he then celebrated. Some of these things just happened. There was a class in the kick, low drive, but again, if the legs were not open, talking about the legs of the opponent, it would have been a different story. Argentina. They seem to be struggling. They are not showing the kind of fluidity that we knew them for when they had Dybala and Di Maria. So injury is a very, very big problem for Argentina right now. Di Maria did all the group stages games, but now we see that he's injured, and Argentina has been struggling. Yes, they are one goal up, but they've not shown the kind of class people expect.
What could be responsible for this? I understand that a lot of people have alluded to different things, especially injuries. But are we seeing an Argentina side that when they meet quality sides in this competition, we might be thinking they've come to the end of the road?
Well, Messi at this level is like another coach. And when Messi tells you that he's missing Dybala, he's missing Di Maria, and that was before the matches began. And now Dybala is still not 100% fit and not being used. But Di Maria being used, but we all know not 100% fit. And of course, the scared in the last training session. And Coach Scaloni decided to list him for this game thus far. So seeing Dybala, seeing Di Maria up front. What they're happening right now is not the same thing, and it's a very big cost for worry. That was why he was playing deep in the early stages of the match. If you notice, Messi was coming to pick the ball, so you don't go that deep to pick the ball. The ball and others should do better taking the ball to the playmaker. He's really overworking himself, and that's why you are saying that a few times he's been kicked, because the officers have also known that this man is doing overtime.
About Argentina going into the fact that they lead at halftime. Yes, it is halftime already. The fact that they lead at halftime is almost halftime, only 2 minutes added on to the first 45. Can we see a situation where a Di Maria and probably a Dybala and a Lautaro Martinez would come in to finish off this game? Because by then Australia will have a game to chase, and they would be committed to pushing more men forward and opening up spaces at the back for Messi to thread those passes that could benefit Argentina.
Yeah, Lautaro Martinez is someone they can introduce, but Dybala, Di Maria, I'm not too sure. Maybe the man will just want Di Maria to still do some runs here and there. But once they score his second goal and they have it 2-0, he will play cautiously, will look at more people in the middle of the park, and of course the Man U defender is still there. Look at more in the defense line and play with boys whose legs are still very, very fragile and who are still not 100% fit.
Your impression about this Australia side, what they seem to lack in technicality and in the technique of the game, they seem to compensate pretty much for it in terms of the grit and the tenacity of wanting to close down the spaces on the Argentines.
Well, they tried to play wide initially to use the ends of the field, thinking that will help them. Indeed, I was bothered that they did not punish Argentina the way they started out in the first 20 minutes of this game. You see, when you notice that the team is struggling until Messi rose to the occasion, individual brilliance. That is why we have this difference. Until that moment, the team was still there for Australia. Even now, I think it is still there for Australia. It's just for them to do a lot more of self-belief. A lot more self-belief. Forget the rims on parade on the part of the South Americans. Forget what the books say about them as the champions of the Copa America. Play your football, do self-belief, and who knows what will happen. The Argentina team is still not 100% correct. We are not seeing what made them come to this tournament with an unbeaten record of 36 games.
And of course, that will make me want to ask the fact that you say they are not looking too good, and everyone is convinced that this wasn't the Argentina that we expected them to be part of the favorites for this competition. Where would they be without a guy like Messi?
If anything happens to Messi, they can as well go. But I know that Messi is careful with tackles, except somebody does something bad for which a red card, maybe give that person, nothing will happen to Messi. FIFA itself should be very, very happy, and Saudi Arabia, in a way, should be very, very happy. I use the word Saudi Arabia because he has a contract now to help promote football in that country. And even in Qatar, he is the poster boy for a lot of the projects that FIFA is doing at this World Cup. So everybody would want to protect Messi. One other thing has happened, and perhaps that may affect unity in the camp of Argentina. Messi is playing with a small level of unhappiness. This is so because he's very close to former Man City striker Aguero. And Aguero, with 101 caps for his country, trying to visit the camp to just wish his fellow teammates well. And they told him, sorry, we can't get you a pass to see the players. That is very poor on the side of Argentina, and Messi and others have not been too happy about the development. It became more worrisome when Spain then invited Aguero to come over to their camp and see players. So certain things should be better managed, because you see, when you go for the World Cup itself, you've got to be good on the field and then off the field. field.
All right, Kochi, thank you so much. Of course, halftime for sharing your thoughts with us. We would get back to discuss further developments as far as this game is concerned with you.
Thank you very much.
All right. And yes, of course, your Champions Down Sports Radio Brila FM. It is halftime. We'll get back in here and we'll take more of the reactions as the game continues. We'll take a break now and we'll be back with more. quickly, Joseph, bring us up to speed. Were there any changes from the coaches?
Yeah, there at this point in time are certainly no changes from the sides in Argentina. Nothing yet. They want to keep the momentum going. Why change anything about a winning team? They saw that they were able to hold on to the pressing. Yes, the press of the Australians and even created something out of nothing. So there's really nothing to change. And then the Australians themselves, they haven't made any changes. So everything, the status quo remains, and they just want to see how the second half goes by. Maybe in the next 10 minutes or 20, we might have maybe just seen a change in the tide, and then maybe the coaches would have to say, okay, let me see how I can turn things around, or rather just remain and maybe just get a few more goals as in the case of the Argentina. But as of now, nothing yet. And of course, the game is just kicked off on the opening 2 minutes of the second half.
Okay, let's see what will happen as far as this game is concerned. Pius, halftime starts quickly. Let's look at where the momentum was before we can begin to permutate what might happen in the second 45.
Yes, of course, VQ and yes, talking about the game between Argentina and Australia. 1-0 is the current scoreline after 47 minutes of play. Let's let you know that ball possession have gone the way of the Argentines because they have 62% of the ball, as against 38% to the Australians. And of course, 2 goal attempts.
Martinez is going to put them in trouble.
With this ball playing goalkeeper.
With a new die here.
Wow.
2
goal attempts for the Argentines and just 1 for Australia. And of course, 1 shot on goal. And that has resulted in the only goal of this particular game. And that has gone the way of the Argentina. Of course, no shot on goal for the Australians in this particular game. 1 shot off goal for Argentina. Of course, none for Australia. No block shot for Argentina. 1 for Australia. Free kicks, 9 have gone the way of the Argentines. And of course, 4 have gone the way of the Australians in this particular encounter. No corner kick for Argentina after 48 minutes of play. Yes, you heard they've made no save. Of course, talking about Martinez and the other goal, of course, and Mark Ryan of of Australia. Yes, in terms of fouls, 3 have gone the way of the Argentines. Of course, 9 have gone the way of the Australians. No yellow card for Argentina. Of course, 2 yellow cards for the Australians already, and all 2 came in the first 45 minutes of this game. In terms of total passes, 423 total passes, and of course they've been able to complete 384 of those. Talking about
high up, while of course Messi and this other man will decide who would be on the other flank. Himself and Julian Alvarez will decide who will be on the other flank. But yes, pretty much so. They've done really well to play out of the back, but it appears that has been a bit of a problem for them. Because of the press of the guys talking about comes in, talking about Lisandro Martinez replacing Papu Gomez, and yes, that of course is the latest coming in. By the way, that was Messi's first goal in the knockout phase of a World Cup. Yes, he's not scored in the World Cup and knockout stage before, and it has taken him his 4th World Cup for that to happen. So yes, they lead 1-0 against Australia. Joseph, first 5 minutes of this game, what's the match reports?
Of course, the first 5 minutes of the game, we've had 1 attempt at goal for Lionel Messi and Argentina, which really the goalkeeper had everything, to combat that one, as it went right straight through the throat of the goalkeeper, and he was able to gather that one. He got on the end of a pass on the edge of the penalty area and shoots toward the middle of the goal. It didn't put enough power into the effort through though, and Matthew Ryan falls off and a rather easy save. So it has been not one way. The Australians are trying to get out of their own box and maybe want to get a goal in this one and force it, down the end of the road. But then at this moment in time, it's still 1-0 to Argentina.
Okay, but of course we also have a situation where Lisandro Martinez has joined the back line now. It looks like the 3 of them will stay at the back, and Acuna will advance and be there. Some defensive solidity for the Argentina side.
Yeah, defensive solidity for Lisandro Martinez to have come into the frame means that Romero, Lisandro and Otamendi, they are comfortable, on the ball. Yes, they are comfortable on the ball. Means more attacking threat. Acuna moving up forward, and Molina as well. Providing that balance that Papu Gomez didn't, exactly give them on the wing. So it means that they actually want to kill this game as soon as possible. They want to get in the goals. Let us second goal, maybe third goal, and then yes, we can say it is done already. So they just want to do that as soon as possible, and don't want to give the Australians a chance at trying to push their luck if they can get a goal, because they would know that it would get difficult, and then there would be great belief in the Australian squad that yes, if we can get a goal, I think we can actually go for this, or even stretch it down to penalty, which I think they could be much more comfortable. As I said the other time, Romero would put Argentina in trouble. He has just escaped one by whiskers.
A back pass that didn't get to the goalkeeper. Keeper had to come off his line to clear that for a throw-in. And these guys have got to wake it up, because the Australians are pretty much pushing them, and something might just happen. Just at a time when you have a Lisandro Martinez who's about the most comfortable with the ball at his feet in the defense. Martinez was a few meters away from him. A pass to Martinez would have been fine, but he was going all the way back to the goalkeeper, and then the ball did not have enough heat. He didn't hit it well enough for him to drive to the goalkeeper. So what he did was he underpassed it, and then the goalkeeper had to come off his line. If that guy was quick, it would have been 1-1 already, and then the pressure begins to mount again. But yes,
but that wasn't Emiliano Martinez's fault.
No, that was Romero.
Romero.
Yes, it was Romero.
I don't know why it's getting too easily rattled. I mean, see, look at that one.
When you pair Romero and Otamendi,
I think Otamendi could be fine.
Otamendi knows how to actually.
Yes.
He plays with his heart, and he's a bit erratic. But Otamendi knows when to keep it simple, compared to Romero, who would want to do too much. And I mean, I've seen the entire backline of Antonio Conte this season at Spurs, and I think Eric Dyer is being the most consistent compared to Romero and Davinson Sanchez and all the other guys who have auditioned in that position.
Davinson Sanchez.
That's a different story entirely. Well, yes, of course, the action continues, and it is 55 minutes. Argentina 1, Australia 0 so far in this game, and that, of course, is what has been happening as far as these guys are concerned. Well, when the countries, all the nations were releasing their list, we saw this Argentina side, and all the talk was that wow. But all of a sudden, all that wow has gone into. It felt like we're all auditioning for who will be running siren for this. Yes, because they look a bit ordinary, and Messi scored 3 goals alone in this competition. Yes, there will be questions about where would they be without him, but maybe also because of the quality of opponents they are facing in Australia. There's no point risking a Di Maria who probably has, is at that point where you don't want to overstretch him this season, and then it becomes a problem for Argentina. But I think they need a bit of a cushion in this game. If they are to kill off this game, they might have to bring out those guys and make it happen. If not, we will be heading for something that would be a nervy finish as far as this one is concerned. But yes, so far the Argentines are doing it, and they're keeping it pretty much the way it is going. Pius, what's happening?
Yes, of course, the guys are actually doing it. That was right there. It was actually a long passer from Emiliano Martinez. Of course, it was actually a back pass. His defender gave him the ball. And of course, instead of giving him back to the defender, he had to launch it forward to Messi, who actually ran towards a goal. But of course, the goalkeeper of the Australia, talking about Ryan, was quick enough to come out his line to
out of his box,
clear the ball to safety. And that was it for the Argentina. And it looks like this passing from the back thing would not. I don't think the defenders of the Argentines really know how to do that. Apart from Martinez, who has just been introduced, the other players have not been doing it too well. Romero, I mean,
Molina.
He's been caught
Otamendi.
a couple of times. These guys are. I don't think they. I think they should just do the basic things. Clear the ball to safety or give it to your nearest man instead of going back at your goalkeeper who would eventually have to clear to safety or something. So I mean, it's been looking like the Argentines are gradually looking for the second goal. But of course, the Australians are not giving them that opportunity because they too want to see how they can get the ball. And of course,
building out of the back. Building out of the back is Australia's problem because, yes, Julian Alvarez has made it 2-0. Building out of the back has also become their problem because Oga just clear this thing to safety now. Clear this thing to safety.
Why the a passport for back? Why? If you know, say you don't get the quality, no need. Clear ball. How difficult can this be?
It's unfortunate because sometimes you actually have to work with the quality of your team and do it the best way that you can. But when you want to overdo it and say, okay, touch it like this, play this one, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. And I feel sorry for them. But yes, this is where experience counts in competitions of this nature. And 58 minutes, Argentina lead 2-0 against Austria. So, is that it?
It's gone. It's gone.
I mean, are you sure?
It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone.
A miracle. I mean, a miraculous miracle.
Of God.
A miraculous miracle.
That was I mean, the camera actually panned on the defender, but I do not think it was his fault. I think the goalkeeper made a very costly error there. That was the goalkeeper's error, Matthew.
How is it his error?
That was his error.
Back
that was the goalkeeper's error.
The passing, the weight of the pass, the keeper no fit control him.
See, my guy.
No, the keeper had to. He wanted to piece his marker. And I actually they gave him the ball. He was supposed to clear the ball to safety. Clear the ball away. He won dribble. Goalkeeper won dribble.
Ha! They pass like that.
Well, they considered the second and they made 2 quick changes. Baccus is off for Rustic, and McGree is also off for Goodwin. Yes, in this game, they trailed 2-0. Almost half an hour gone as far as this one is concerned. Fresh legs in the middle of the park. Good enough. One in the attack, one in the midfield. Could give them a bit of some bite now because, of course, you need fresh legs to be able to press and run for the entire duration of the game. But aside the fact that it is a fresh pair of legs that will enable you to press, I don't see any new thing that is coming up tactically, making these 2 quick changes with 30 more minutes on the clock.
I mean, it's like for like. It's more like, okay, replacing time. I don't think these guys are tired. They're just bargaining.
And get this, and he's cheap. He's a free transfer. And sometimes you just want to give it to those running the affairs of football clubs. If they have to go with all the things the fans are saying, the football club will be run to the ground, like permanently, totally to the ground. Because how do you expect that people who dedicate their lives to these things and they rise from being scouts to being other things, and then they've grown through the academy, and then they become pathway managers and all of that stuff, and then they grow on to become, decision makers on the technical level, they make such mistakes. But Joseph, of course, talk us through the last couple of minutes before the goal and after the goal was scored, beat by beat action from Australia and Argentina.
We talked about in the 58th minute when Leo Messi got on the end of the pass on the edge of the penalty area, and the shot towards the middle of the goal. He didn't put enough power into that, and of course the goalkeeper had every time in the world to pull off an easy save. And then there was an ambush situation, which the referee blew his whistle. A clear handball is the danger after Leo Messi threatened to latch onto a through ball from just outside the box. And then in the 57th minute, the goal happened. Matt Ryan makes a huge mistake, and Julian Alvarez made an easy task to put the ball at the back of the net. He made a mess of a simple pass. He didn't know where to control the ball, and of course they've actually been suffering from that. If I was him, well, he has the goalkeeper. The defensive line wouldn't be confident, giving it back the ball, and because of that, the one of the defenders, I think the right back, wanted to play. He could have played a simple back substitution can be made, and then Graham Arnold decided to make a change. Craig Godwin of Australia replaces Riley McGree. And in the 62nd minute, Simon Martinez couldn't ignore this rough tackle by Christian Romero, and the Blues whistle, and now the Australians have a free kick situation. So it is what it is at the moment. Romero once again looking like he's rattled. I don't know why he's putting himself under immense pressure. But then I think something needs to be addressed as quick as possible.
Okay, we'll see if they can address that for the remaining minutes of this game. But there's this aura of calmness Messi brings to them each time they are under immense pressure. Maybe by his first touch or by the pass he eventually makes, you just find out that things will be easy for them from there on, and then he can make progress with the passes and then, just make it easy for the guys. But let's talk about something else in this game. The Australians, the drop in the press, the amount of pressure they were putting on Argentina, did it affect them? Because, of course, they had the Argentines, pushed to the back and then had them struggling for control in the game. But yes, they dropped that intensity, and all of a sudden we're seeing that Argentina have had control, and now they are 2 goals up. They can afford to pass into space and delay as much as possible while giving Australia something to think about in terms of wanting to run. In fact, the guys who are stringing the ball at the back, the Argentina guys, they make it too difficult for themselves. You have a man in front of you that is free, and you'll be going all the way for a man who's 30 yards out when you know your pass cannot be accurate. And then it becomes a problem. Like,
I just cannot explain.
Unfortunately, that's what is happening, and we are beginning to see why they are where they are and why things are not looking good for them at all. But yes, this of course has been a Lionel Messi show. Pius, of course, bring us up to speed. Reports are coming in from the game.
It's been. I can't find words to describe this man right now. He's been taking on players, driving ball from the midfield right into the 18-yard of the Australians, trying to take on players. Not one players in this occasion, 2-3 players at the same time, and of course trying to find the nearest man. And yes, it's just been quite an interesting game for Lionel Messi. He's been showing what Messi can do, and of course I really love to see, and of course we are enjoying it right there. Vicky was talking about the fact that the Australians cannot press again, but of course this is courtesy the goal the Argentines scored.
Yeah.
If you score a goal, it puts you under pressure, and of course the things you are used to doing, you might not be able to do it. Of course, if you can do it, you might not really be able to do it as well as you would do it before a goal is scored in a football match, and that was the reason why we were talking about the Australians. We were talking about them in the first 5 minutes, because we knew that if that first goal should come from the Argentines, it will actually destabilize them, and of course that's what has done in this particular encounter. After that goal came for the Argentines, the Australians were not able to keep possession again. They were not able to pass from the back, and of course all those things they were used to doing, they were unable to do it, and of course right from then it became a Messi issue. And into the second 5 minutes right now, we've still been seeing Messi, traces of Messi here and there, trying to drive the ball, trying to get players. The passes have been top notch, and yes, of course, the man looks. It looks.
It's getting
it looks
more,
like he's on a revenge mission this night.
I don't know what's happening. More confidence, more. He's looking sharper. He wants to try every bit of trick in him, and of course, yes. After that goal, the Australians have looked like they lacked that confidence. They had this drive, this energy buzzing around them in the first half. And, they start to take 45 minutes. Yes, a full stretch of 45 minutes before the Argentinians could get a breakthrough. And, of course, we look at the opening 35 minutes and how they were, they were up with that belief, say, okay, let's try to press because we can maybe just make this happen. But then it's just been, I don't know, it's been a lazy press from them so far in the second half. I think the goal rattled them, and they've not been able to, get their acts together, and that is probably why it is taking. It's actually affected them into getting that, consider that second goal. And after that second goal, it was more like, okay, the game has always belonged to Argentina. They are really not even fighting any longer.
Well, Argentina are also fighting to get a third goal and probably put this game out of sight for their opponents. But we're waiting to see what Australia might be able to do. Set piece situations have been areas where I thought they could be a bit of a threat. But maybe the angles where they get the set pieces too has made it difficult for them, because it's been almost impossible for them to hit those crosses in and put the guys under pressure. But yes, a good rest for Angel Di Maria will be very good going into the next game, and let's hope these guys will be able to see out this one. And yes, they started slowly. Everyone expected them to beat Saudi Arabia. It didn't happen, but right now it is looking as if things are looking good for them. I know that some other opponents will make it really difficult for them, and they might be tested beyond what we have seen so far in this competition, and then we'll begin to question if Argentina can go past this level. But maybe also you can only beat a team that is in front of you. By the time they meet stronger opponents, they will be able to show a side of them we are yet to see in this competition.
I really hope that's the case. I really hope that's the case for them, because
it doesn't look like it.
I'm telling you. I think we are flattered. We were too quick to conclude on this Argentine side, probably because of the 36 game unbeaten they had coming into this competition. Everyone thought they were unbeatable, and of course everyone thought they were quite a supernatural team. But of course with the 3-4 games we've seen in this competition, I want to I want to change my stand on them, because they've not been convincing, to be honest with you. They play Saudi Arabia, they play Mexico, and Poland, and now they're playing Australia. Probably because of the caliber of teams they've been playing.
If we go by that logic, no team has actually been 10 over 10 in this competition.
Not only 10 over 10, but of course
no team has actually been 10 over 10.
Yeah, because no team finished with maximum points from the group, so and no team has actually been 10 over 10. But of course, if you take a look at the teams and the kind of football they play, you can say this team will actually go far in this competition. Teams like Brazil, France, and maybe the Netherlands we saw earlier today. These are guys that when you see them play, you are convinced, you know that these guys will actually go further. But this Argentine side,
especially as you're starting this Romero, they go chop on.
I just want to believe it is because of the caliber of teams they've been facing. Probably, like Vicky said, probably when they start facing the bigger boys, we might start seeing the best of these Argentines. And let's not forget that they defeated Italy to win the finalissima. So that could be a testament to the fact that when they meet bigger teams, they also defeated Brazil to win the Copa America. So it's also
that's about a year now.
So I mean,
that's about a year now.
Greatness
in the house. I think he played at 4 World Cups himself. Tim Cahill. He's the ambassador he was part of the traveling team for the Socceroos. Of course, what we have seen so far in this competition. But it's hard to actually ask questions regarding what can Australia do right now. But are they chasing the game right in terms of the shape, in terms of... You already know these Argentines cannot build out of the back. Why not go toe-to-toe with their build-up play and then try to rattle them a bit? Because they get 1 goal in this game, it's game on.
These guys, they don't have that belief anymore. They think the second goal
they're low on confidence.
They're low on confidence. You could look, I said earlier that the energy they started the game with was quite high.
Well, Argentina is about to put it out of sight. It looks like 2 or 3 changes. Julian Alvarez is coming off now, and this is another opportunity also. I know goals gives a confidence, and it sort of boosts the way strikers feel. I think this is an opportunity for Lautaro Martinez to make his mark in this game. He scores in this game, he'll be eager to probably want to do it in the next game, and things will begin to look good for him. Acuna is also off. Yes, himself and Julian Alvarez are the 2 guys who have been substituted in this game. And yes, Argentina have brought on Lautaro Martinez, yes, the Inter Milan man, and Nico Tagliafico. Yes, Nico Tagliafico has also come on in this game. Used to be at Ajax. Tagliafico, of course, is now on, and let's see what will happen. Well, good player also. And Australia are also making fresh changes as well. Yes, the young man, talking about, the young guy who has barely played any serious game, of course, before this time, gets an opportunity to get on the pitch. I'm talking about Cole. Yes, Cole is, of course, on the pitch now, replacing Leckie. Leckie is the man who scored 2 goals for them in this competition so far. And, of course, he has come on to replace him, the Newcastle United new signee. And Karic is also on. Yes, Karacic, I beg your pardon. Yes, Karacic is also on for Degenek. Degenek picked up a yellow card earlier, so yes, he's on. McLaren is on, replacing Duke. It means the 2 strikers that started this game, and the 3 forwards actually, McGree, Leckie, as well as Duke, are all off now. and a fresh pair of legs, of course, would come and try what they can do to see if it will be possible for them to get something in this game. But yes, Argentina still asking the questions, but yes, they have not been able to get it right. Lautaro Martinez probably getting close there, haven't just come onto the pitch, but not been able to do it. 09040,889, 09040,1,089. Yes, the numbers to call as the action continues. Argentina lead Australia 2-0. Yes, it is the round of 16, a second game. Yes, the first game today, the USA defeated the Netherlands defeated the USA by 3-1. Yes, the USA were defeated in that game. And right now, of course, we have the second game, Argentina taking on Australia. And yes, they lead by 2-0. It is 74 minutes in that game. And yes, your thoughts, your expectations. Well, we didn't have a lot of guys calling to say Australia would beat Argentina. Only one or two said that there will be surprises. But it turns out now that...
I don't think they really meant it. Nobody would have said that Australia will beat Argentina, not even in the light years.
No. I think if you pick your words carefully to say upset, or
when you say upset, it doesn't necessarily mean it is going to happen.
No.
The back of we saw how teams have been able to, like Tunisia beat France. Nobody expected. They feel like, okay, yeah, it could happen, but logically speaking, there's no way, not even in a billion years, could Australia beat Argentina.
The way we put the Jaguar go Australia now, you go shock you say in 10 years time. They don't get teams, so you go only they see Nigeria and other African surnames.
I think Australia can maybe just be able to ruffle. Yeah, they are the biggest teams coming out of their confederation. Yeah, of course. Maybe I don't think it will get better than that. I don't think it will get better than that. I mean, we're having a black Australian. I've not seen that in a long while. And so it's as a result of, the Jackpot syndrome. So, well, it's all good. And
that one will not be Jackpot.
Waiting for Congo. National.
Jackpot big time.
So, well, I don't think it will get bigger than that. Well, not so many people are actually looking at them. The only reason why you would know so many teams in Australia is because of your bet tickets. So I don't think anything could be really... I really don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. Let's see how it is going as far as this one is concerned. Argentina still lead 2-0. And let's get the calls coming in this evening as the action continues right here. 09040,889, 09041,889. Lautaro Martinez has come in this game, and he's affected it a bit, but 15 more minutes to go before we wrap things up. Pius, the new changes that both sides have affected in this game, has it affected the game in any way?
Not really, to be honest with you. Maybe for the Argentines, I think probably a little bit of that. But for the Australians, I don't think they have actually, affected the game in any way. But of course, I don't think so.
Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
Good evening to the guys in the studio.
Good evening.
Thank you.
This is Danny Murphy from Cotton.
Okay.
The match is going on well, and I'm happy Messi scored. Only that they should not allow him to just take some like that.
All right. Thank you so much, because it is game on now. Australia have pulled one back. It is 2-1. Yes, and it is game on. So yes, we have a game on our hands. And you dare not think it is over until it is over. And guess what? Yes, a good one into the box. Wasn't properly cleared by the Argentines. And took a shot that took a deflection of Enzo. I think, yes, of Enzo Fernandez, and ended in the back of the net. A good win, the most one in this encounter. And yes, it is game on. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, Sheon Ojo.
Okay, let's hear you.
It's so cool. Argentina, Otilo. Argentina, anti-win.
Okay.
Argentina.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It says it will be all Argentina. But yes, they have A few more minutes to hold on. Yes, 12 minutes on the clock before extra time. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, welcome. What's your name? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that one. Pius, Argentina, of course, pulled one back in this game, and it looks really, really good. Tell us about what led to the goal and how they let these in just when you thought this game was all in their hands and it was all done and dusted.
Well, yes, of course, a goal for the Australians, this particular one, and of course that goal actually opens up this game. To be honest with you, because we have just barely 12-15 minutes into the end, towards the end of the game, and of course the Australians will actually fancy their chance at getting an equalizer before 90 minutes. That goal for the Australians came on the 77 minutes because Craig Goodwin tried his luck from the edge of the box, and of course his shot took a deflection and went past the stranded Emiliano Martinez. Before that, Lautaro Martinez actually played the pass to Nicolas Tagliafico, but he failed to get on a decent shot away from inside the box, and of course the ball flew wide right of the goal post. Well, like I said earlier, this goal looks like one that the Australians will cherish because if you score a goal in the late 10-11 minutes of the game, you might just try to fancy your chance at getting an equalizer, and of course see how you can actually get that one before 90 minutes. Well, the Argentines after that goal have been trying to attack the Australians, are trying to see if they can get one more goal to bury this game, and of course deny the Australians any chance at least in getting back into this particular encounter. A couple of substitutions again for the Argentines in this one because yes, they've taken out McAllister has been taken out of this particular game. Palacios has replaced him, and of course Molina has been taken out in this particular encounter, and Montiel has replaced him. Maybe for Lionel Scaloni is trying to get in more players to try of course seal up the win here, and any attempt on goal now for the Australians might actually do the Argentines a whole lot of bad right here, and of course they have to watch it very well, and of course they have to really, really watch it, and it's looking like wow.
Wow. And yes, it almost happened. Yes, it almost happened. Argentina on the ropes as far as this game is concerned. Yes, Scaloni made changes, but it was Australia who had a man wriggle past almost the entire Argentina midfield and the defense before, of course, it took a deflection. The goalkeeper was on the ground already. It took a deflection, and then that led to a corner, of course, as Australia have once again sort of found a bit of the excitement and the spring on their heels once again. We will at this point in time join and call on the chairman, CEO Brila Media, Dr. Larry Zamoje once again, and take his thoughts on the game as things are going right now. Argentina, yes, from a point of total control in this game, it has been near chaos for them, and Australia are now looking as if they can get back in this game and get something going once again for them. Yes, it is Argentina who still lead 2-1, but yes, definitely not an easy one now, as a place in the next round of this competition is well within sight for the Australians, and yes, they are giving everything that they can to see if they can get back into this game. What is there to lose? Let's quickly join the chairman CEO of Brila Media. Yes, Dr. Larry Zamoje once again on the show this evening. Kochi, Australia, yes, pulled one back, and Argentina from a place of control. Things are looking really bad for them once again.
Yes, and the coach is trying to make his team get the flair and verve needed for this occasion. Again, those things happen in football when an own goal is scored, or not an own goal, when the deflection leads to this kind of when you have one man in the land of the blind, this is what you suffer. We pray that Argentina qualifies, because it will be very, very bad. There are insinuations everywhere in Argentina that Lionel Messi influenced the selection of players, and so they just have to win. And we pray they do, because even FIFA would need a very big name in the next round than Australia. It's also good for marketing, good for everything about the competition. That's why you find that in most competitions, they like teams with big name players to get to, say, semi-final or even the final.
For a side like Australia that looked almost down and out, where did you think they picked the momentum from? Because at some point, they also dropped the intensity of their press. And we were just pointing out that if you don't go that way, it will be hard to rattle the Argentines.
They also read this game, and self-belief came into the whole thing, and that deflection also helped self-belief. That's why they are also fighting tooth and nail right now. But the two introductions, like for like, they are Palacios of Bayer Leverkusen and Montiel of Sevilla. They should be able to hold the back and the middle. But the problem with this Argentina team still remains the way the team has been playing before now. 76 matches unbeaten to get here, but most of those matches saw Lionel Messi pairing with Di Maria and Dybala, and he said it before coming to this competition that he misses Dybala particularly, and in a way, Di Maria. If it gets too bad and Di Maria cannot come on, who knows what will happen.
And of course, the Australians, they have found their belief once again. Is there a chance that, what would you advise a side like the Argentines? What do you think they should do now to see out this game? Or the Australians, on the other hand, what they should do to force this game into a possible extra time?
Well, because the minutes are fading away. And apart from the goal they conceded against Saudi Arabia and this deflected goal, the defense seems to have found its rhythm, like they did, conceding only 7 times coming into this World Cup in very many matches. So now that the defense is very solid, with minutes ticking away, I will introduce more midfielders to hold the middle for me and introduce one more defender so that the back is solid. And I'll try and just...
of course, the way it is going, a lot of people will have a lot of things to say about Lionel Messi and what it is back home. But yes, it looks like whatever happens in this competition...
And they let them crowd the middle and the first line of defense. And they let them crowd the middle and the first line of defense. And you just see this back out. And let's see which one I'm playing the next round.
All right, Kochi, we'll probably get back to you at full time. Let's quickly go on to follow the game and take as many calls as possible as the game continues heading to the 90th minute at this time.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Yes, of course, the action continues right here. And, of course, Argentina still holding on. They lead 2-1 against Australia. And, yes, we have just had a quick chat with the chairman, CEO of Brila Media, Dr. Larry Zamuja. And while that was going on, Joseph, of course, what happened in the game? Bring us up to speed on the minute-by-minute action regarding this game.
Yes, minute-by-minute action in this game. Ever since the substitution for the Australian side, they've actually grown in belief. And of course, in the 75th minute, we had Martinez, who played a simple pass to Nicolas Tagliafico, but he failed to get a decent shot away from inside the box, and the ball flies well off the right post. And then in the 77th minute, Fernandez, that was when the goal came in, where a deflection of Enzo Fernandez got a goal for Australia. Well, in the 79th minute as well, Nicolas Tagliafico seemed to have run clear on goal, but then it was called back by the linesman. It was in the 88th minute of the match. We had Michael Palacios who was brought out. Yes, for Alexis McAllister. And then moving on to the 81st minute, where with Behich goes on a weaving run through the defense and gets within a shooting range, but his effort was just blocked by a sliding in Lisandro Martinez, who of course got them a corner situation in that time. And of course, in the 82nd minute of the match, Australia can't profit from the corner kick as the defense was able to clear the ball off field. Well, in the 85th minute, Lionel Messi also failed to beat an offside trap and then the linesman had to put this flag up for offside against Lionel Messi. Lautaro Martinez in the 88th minute connected well with a pass inside the box, but his effort goes well wide of the left post. In the 89th minute of this encounter, we had Lionel Messi who played a pass out to Lautaro Martinez, but he produces a poor effort from inside the box, which goes high over the bar. That would have been game over because it was clear and they could have scored a goal in that one. And then a moment ago, in the 90th minute of the match, we had Australia almost getting an equalizer in that one, if not for the eye claim of that man being behind the sticks. I'm talking about Emiliano Martinez, who was able to bail his team out. And, of course, Australians got in their head once more, and then they made the situation, and it is a free kick to the Argentinians right there in the box.
That would have been 2-2, and, of course, that would have been game on because... with this competition, in a competition where they had a lot of minutes, you were sure that it was going to be something else. But yes, 7 minutes added on. Yes, 7 minutes added to this one, and there is still a whole lot to play for as far as this game is concerned. But what, of course, has this been so far for this Argentina side against Australia? Pius, what are the stats saying, and where's the momentum going at this time?
Yes, of course. It looks like the Australians are actually trying as much as they can to get this second goal, which would be, of course, an equalizer in this particular game. But of course, let's let you know that the Argentines are still in possession of the ball because they have the better ball possession. 61% of the ball to 39%. That's going the way of the Argentines in this particular one. 8 goal attempts for Argentina and just 4 for the Australians in this particular encounter. Of course, in terms of shots on goal, none for the Australians. And of course, 3 have gone the way of the Argentines after 92 minutes of play. Yes, shot of goal, 5 have gone the way of the Argentines, 1 have gone the way of the Australians. Block shots, none for the Argentines, 3 for the Australians. Free kicks, 15 have gone the way of the Argentines, and of course 11 have gone the way of the Australians. Corner kicks, we had 4 corner kicks in this particular encounter, 1 for Argentina, 3 for Australia. Yes, that's talking about corner kicks. Offside calls, 3 the Argentines have been called offside 3 times, thrice in this particular encounter, and of course no offside call for the Australians in this game. In terms of throw-ins, 22 Argentina, 24 Australia. Goalkeeper saves. Yes, Ariane, the goalkeeper of Australia, have been called to action once, while of course the goalkeeper of Argentina, talking about Emiliano Martinez, of course has not made any save in this game. Fouls, 8 fouls for Argentina, 15 for Australia. 2 yellow cards in this game, and all 2 have gone the way of the Australians in this particular encounter. 691 total passes, I beg your pardon, and of course the Argentines have been able to complete 619 of those. For the Australians, 430 total passes, and they've been able to complete 370 of those. Yes, of course, in terms of tackles, 12 tackles for the Argentines and 10 for the Australians. 84 attacks for the Argentines. Of course, 45 of those have been very dangerous, while for the Australians, 63 attacks, and of course 33 of those have been very dangerous in the Argentine half. Of course, the most important start of this particular encounter is still the scoreline, which is still 2-1 in favor of the Argentines. Let's let you know that the first goal came from the boot of Lionel Messi, and of course that goal came via an assist from Nicolas Otamendi in the 50 minutes. Of course, Julian Alvarez doubled the lead. 57th minute, of course, a goal came for the Australians right there in the 77 minutes.
They have created, and the Australians have done themselves a world of good by going long and trying to unsettle the defense of Argentina. Well, yes, pretty much so. So far, Argentina have held theirs, and both teams, of course, on the ropes right now. And of course, you can tell that if this goes into to score goals when they're not scoring, and he needs to do a lot of other stuff just to make sure that the keeper had to come out to get the job done. But yes, that's it tonight as far as the game is concerned. Argentina, yes, they hold their nerves into the next game. Still not so convincing. But yes, Australia can be proud of this sort of performance. Like if you go to a competition and nobody gave you a chance, and you play like this and get knocked out, you're full to do, and then they would go home. But yes, they gave a good fight. Physically, this will be very telling on them. They would need their physios to actually attend to them tonight. Maybe massage and every other thing that would follow. But I tell you what, Australia did their best. Argentina will not believe the amount of fights they got from these guys. Maybe this is where the motivational speakers actually got this from, to say it is not the...
So the football fans in Australia would actually look at Matrai and say, if not before that howler,
it is not the size of the dog in the fight, but the size of the fight in the dog.
All those ones na rhymes. If dog enter where no supposed to enter, they go top
collect. You go collect.
May enter Undo house.
No, but considered the last time we played against Argentina, the 2018 World Cup, I don't remember us coming up with a fight like this. A draw was good enough for us to actually go to the next round, and we didn't hold it down. Not like we wouldn't have met France anyway.
We would have met.
I'm going to still collect for that side. I felt like the fight started very late, and at that moment when they went 2 goals down, I felt like they were quite low on confidence. They started fighting when they got that first goal. That equalizer, not equalizer. Their only goal, of course, that own goal. That was when the fight started for the Australians, and of course I felt like the quarterfinal game has been scheduled for Friday. Of course, right there, the Argentina will be playing against Netherlands. To be honest with you, I felt like if this game had gone into extra time, the Australians will have won. They will have won. The Argentines look so tired, and of course they look so worn out. They just wanted the referee to sound his whistle, and of course they just wanted to get into the dressing room to.
I think they don't even believe they could have been in such under such pressure.
The Argentines didn't actually put the game to rest. Unfortunately, Messi is also wrapping up his career at the point where they don't really have top class finishers. Lautaro Martinez,
Alvarez
is not consistent. Julian Alvarez is just starting off.
Yes.
And one cannot exactly put all of that pressure on him. And you have an aging Di Maria. I'm not sure the last very good winger they had before Di Maria. That would be distant memory now. You need to rack your head to remember who was the top winger.
Correa is the one who comes close.
Angel Correa. Well, Maxi did pretty well, but I wouldn't say on Di Maria's level. No. Joaquim Correa didn't even make it to this competition, was injured, had to be taken out of their camp. And it's actually not been easy. Di Maria has been there a long time. I still remember the Olympics in 2008 up until this time. He's still there. 2008 to 2018 was 10 years. And then, I think he moved after the 2010 World Cup from Benfica to Real Madrid, I think. That was the time the likes of Ozil and these other names were moving. And, but at 34 now, you don't expect that all of that to be easy. He moved in 2010 to Real, and I was there till 2014. He's played at the highest level for a long time now, and I feel sorry for them. But there are also scenarios where you feel that the quality of what they have in this Argentina side, they sort of let Messi down, and it is excuse for them, because this is football at the highest level, and they are footballers. It probably would have been easy if in situations like this, when you have guys who are creating for him and making the job easier. A typical example, or the opposite of that, is that in Portugal, you have a Bruno Fernandez. You actually make these things happen for Ronaldo, and the job is to get the ball to him, and he knows what to do. Yes, that might not have been the case of recent, but for the times it has worked, it was really working, and it made a lot of sense. But if you will be the man to give, they now expect that Declan Rice, who's expected to break play, should be the same man to create, and then you have a Foden on the bench who should make those things easy, and then you still stuck with that. But Lautaro Martinez also had a shocker for a guy that, a lot of fans, thank God football clubs are not run by fans. A lot of the times you find fans telling you, put 100 million on this guy. This is the guy we need. Like, do you really watch this? And then there are people also, I sometimes you read some people's scouting reports when they talk about some things, and you find out that they make you feel as if the player doesn't have any flaws. Well, the scouting report should and decide where they are top notch. But if you're making all those things and then you're ignoring the places,
his level of patriotism was top for his country. I tell you this, Messi just does not want to go out of Qatar, and that is what he has shown. The defense line too did not fluff their lines. They have recovered clearly from the mistakes that they made against Saudi Arabia. Don't forget that going to this World Cup, Coach Scaloni decided to pick more defenders. So as we talk about injuries to Dybala, Di Maria, aging and the younger boys unable to get to that days of excellence required of them, it is still clear that days of excellence required of them. It is still clear that the defense is still the strongest point, the strongest part of this Argentina squad.
Interesting to note all the things you've highlighted regarding this Argentina side, but credit to Australia. I know that typically, whether on paper or otherwise, nobody will give them a chance against Argentina for bowing out of this competition at this level. What does this mean for them, and can their fans be proud of them in the way they have performed?
Yes, they should be very proud of them, because we are talking of boys who were picked from teams like Sunderland, Columbus Crew, Stoke City,
Melbourne City,
Hearts of Scotland, Celtic, Hellas Verona, Middlesbrough, and talk about Melbourne City. These are not first-grade teams, and the people they face today